Alright, so this is the Malefic artifact OTK 2.0. I had to rename the original Malefic version of this because I didn't have the idea of making it an OTK deck. It was just mixing Malefics with artifacts, so you can have some big beat sticks to go along with the uniqueness and the abilities of the artifacts. But then I realized, because of a Shark Fortress, how you can just target something and obviously make it attack twice. And since Malefic Cyber is a 4,000, him being able to attack twice, since he's the only monster in your side field that can attack, making him attack twice is very useful. And of course, that's 8,000 points of damage, so that's an OTK. So the fact that you can OTK with Malefic Cyber using Shark Fortress, and the artifacts can make Shark Fortress, and you combine the Malefics with artifacts, blah 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 blah, you get the idea. So it's like, oh, okay, so like the deck can OTK if you got a monster strong enough, because it's not hard to make a rank 5 in the deck, since the deck does rank 5 all the time. But if you have a monster that's strong enough that it's worth making it attack twice so you can OTK, then you can obviously use artifacts to make OTK decks. So that's where this deck came in, and I had to remodify the original version and relabel it as an OTK because Shark Fortress is in there. So this is the second version. I changed some stuff around, I'm not using Zombie World like I did in the original version. So I'm using Mausoleum instead because it lets me make Shark Fortress faster. And of course I got the good old Celestial transformation. So those two spell card combo will allow you to summon two 5 stars, of course, overlay, make Shark Fortress. Since you have Mausoleum on the field, you could drop Malefic Cyber in, and there you go, Shark Fortress effect, blah blah blah, OTK. So it's pretty simple on how to do the OTK. So obviously 3 Malefic Cyber in because he's a boss. Stardust to protect the field spell, plus he's just a boss. So they're basically just like boss monsters of the deck. Obviously I got Achilles because I like his ability to prevent my opponent from being able to attack. He works really good with the trap because you use the trap, special summon him, boom, you'll protect yourself for that turn. So it kind of acts like a threatening roar, so to speak. For some draw power, of course, who doesn't like to draw? You got Caduceus, basically because Labrys is kind of like a hand trap, and I tend to like using him to perform OTKs because all I have to do is destroy one of my artifacts and I could drop multiples of him. And then of course Morale Tech because he's the monster destroyer. Since I already have a lot of back row hate in this deck already, I don't require like back row hate monsters or effects, obviously, because I got artifact movement to get rid of back row, plus it lets me search. Double Cyclone obviously lets me get rid of back row, plus it lets me activate the effects of my monsters. I mean, I could also use artifact movement to pop my own back row to get the effects, of course. Mausoleum so that I can summon the Malefics and they don't self-destruct, plus I can use Mausoleum to summon any of these artifacts, since they only will cost 1,000 to summon. Terraforming just to guarantee I have the field spell for when I need it, so I can guarantee I can summon something, right? Celestial because it's a quick play, comes in handy. Never know when you need to summon something from your hand during your opponent's turn or even during your own turn. Plus it helps with XYZ summoning. Obviously Theosophy, I guess, of the artifacts, because it's a good trap. It lets you summon any of these monsters from your deck onto the field, so it thins out your deck and you get effects off. Deck Devastation Virus obviously goes with Malefic, Stardust, and Cyber N, so that we can hurt your opponent. It's good against the mirror match, obviously. You keep on going up against artifacts because most of them, except no, not him. Well, some of them, like for example this one, and I think, let's see, where's the other one? He had 14, so he has under 1,500. See, Agus has 1,200. He has 15. Let's see what this one. This one has 2,000, 23, 21, and that one's 16. So basically, I use the ones that have stronger attacks, but there are the weaker ones, like Agus, for example, and Begotech, and Achilles. These can be destruction. Sorry about that. They could be destruction, of course. Deck Devied, and Honest, since Honest has 1100 attack, it's good against that. Some artifact decks, of course, use stuff like Absorb Jar, stuff like that, Shining Angel, so on and so on. What is those monsters? The Heralds, since they require fairy type monsters to activate their hand trap abilities, so it's good against hand traps. Obviously, get rid of a lot of weak monsters. Good against other decks that use the weaker monsters like Dustin's, Ojama, so on and so on. I don't really have to explain too much of how it works. Obviously, you understand it's good against a lot of weaker monsters, specifically hand traps. And of course, I got the one Honest because I got a lot of light types in the deck, including obviously Pleiades, whatever. Pleiades sounds right? Pleiades. Artifact Randos also light, so you can Honest them. But of course, you need Shark Fortress in order to be able to perform the OTK. I OTK a couple people with Fortress, not with Malefic Cyber N per se, but I definitely use Fortress to help me perform an OTK because that little extra 600 damage that one Fortress can do when you target him, as opposed to just having two 2100s on the field. You know what I mean? That does matter. So, and of course, three Cyber Ends, 3 Stardusts, so I can summon Malefic Cyber Ends, Malefic Stardust. And that's the Malefic Artifact OTK 2.0 deck profile.